John Preedy. I'm president of Trust 100, and welcome to this series on pre-need sales. I'm with William Bonacorta, our National Director of Sales, and we're going to go through all the pieces and parts of our sales program with you in a series of videotapes that you can plug and play. William, let's start at the beginning. We have in front of you here our pre-arrangement folders. The first one is the arrangers folder, so let's start with that. Tell me just a little bit about the arrangers folder.
Well, Alan, during our arrangements conference, the funeral directors are talking to the families.
And this is the at-need arrangements conference.
That is correct. During the at-need arrangements conference, the funeral director discusses with the families items they might need during the service and after the service.
Okay.
And those items specifically would be why they need death certificates and how they say thank you to the families. So we've developed a folder that has the family can take home, read it afterwards, and reference it for the need for those specific items.
Okay, I'm an at-need arranger. Why would I want to do this?
More importantly, a lot of times the arrangers themselves, when the families go home, they don't always have anything to take home with them.
Okay.
They should have a Federal Trade Commission compliant signed at-need contract.
Right.
They should have a general price list with them, but they don't generally have a folder to put it in, and if they do, the folder only contains those two items.
Okay, so basically you're tangibilizing the intangible experience of the arrangement conference, but also giving them some reminders. So it makes you look more professional.
That's correct.
That's the purpose of it.
That's correct.
Okay.
A lot of times when I do follow-ups with the families, as you'll see in the B folder, the families tend to forget all the items that the funeral director went over at the arrangements conference, and they actually ask us, why did I need so many death certificates? I have so many thank you cards. What does etiquette call for when I mail these? To whom do I mail them to?
Okay.
So we've made reference to those.
So basically it's a kind of a how-to kit for the family. All right.
It is.
All right. So what are the pieces of it? What would be the first thing that I might look at?
Well, what you might look at first is going to be the things to remember card that we've put
Okay.
together. This, I think, is extremely important as a reminder to the family that might be from out of town attending the service and might be answering the phone for the loved
So
one.
you'd suggest that they take that, if I were the funeral director on the at-need conference, what I would do is show them that, fill it out for them, and then have them tell them to set it by their phone, so that when people call and ask about various things, they have it there as a reminder. They don't have to go and get somebody out of the kitchen or, heaven forbid, out of the bathroom and tell them it's right there for them. So that's very convenient.
It is. It reminds them of the time, the date, the address of the funeral home and the services. It also lets them know if there's any special instructions, i.e. the example would be memorial contributions rather than flowers. To which organization do they want donations?
Don't a lot of funeral homes do this already?
You know, I'd be surprised, Alan, for the amount of time that I get around the country with visit with funeral homes. It's more hit and miss. We're trying to create some continuity.
Really? Okay, so basically what we're helping them do, if they don't do this already, is put together a professional package. It's a very simple and easy thing to do. Okay.
That's correct. That's correct. Next would be the list of why we need death certificates, reminding the family for life insurance policies, bank stocks, bonds, property, auto titles, anything that has the person's or the decedent's legal name on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the states are right of survivorship states, so the assets transfer to the spouse. But if they wish to divest their interest in any of those assets, then they're going to need that death certificate, so it's important to hang on to them.
Okay, so just instructional stuff for the family. And what is the next thing?
Well, more so with the thank you cards, letting them know what etiquette calls for. If they sent flowers, if they stopped at the visitation, if they might have sent a card. We ask them to hang on to those. It's not uncommon around holiday times that the family might receive wishing cards, wishing you a happy holidays, and they simply have forgotten to notify that individual from across the country that their spouse or their parent had passed. So they might attach a thank you card and one of our prayer cards or service folders from the service they had through us.
Okay, good. Excellent. Excellent. Is there anything else in there?
No, Alan, that actually sums up the entire folder at
Okay,
this point.
let me ask you a couple questions. One is, what if I already have folders that I have for my funeral home? Am I required to use the folder here?
Absolutely not. The idea behind this folder and the use of the folder is to provide to funeral directors an avenue to have some consistent arrangements being made,
Okay.
meaning some use the folders, some don't use the folders. Within their own funeral home, everyone uses the same folder. If you have your own, you may want to add these contents.
Okay.
We suggest to the funeral directors if they'd like to take these folders and remove the items and use their folders, that's up to them. Some of them just pick up the folder and use it as we've sent it to them.
Yeah, we're trying to make it very easy for the funeral home, but in the event that they have materials, what if they wanted to adapt this and have their own? That's okay too, isn't it?
They could certainly do so. What we may have suggested to the funeral directors over the years is they take the outline that we've provided to them, the research and the information, and then they can put it on their letterhead, their
Mhm.
stationery, personalize it to them, use their folders, so once again, they have continuity within their program.
Okay. Is there a pre-need motive here?
Not so much on the A folder, more so what we're looking for is to provide superior service based on our professional experience.
Okay.
We're suggesting to the funeral director that they put this literature together and use it.
Yeah.
No
So-
motivation specifically
so
for pre-need.
Basically, lifting up the funeral home if they haven't already gotten to that point already.
That's correct.
Great.